change things from violent to a more peaceful, loving nature. Now, there are many aliens in what you call the past, Old Testament, and even in some of the old Sumerian books, some of the old religious texts, but they will even tell you in those texts that they were aliens and not gods.
Oh, sometimes.
In some of them, yes.
Especially in India.
Yes, the Indian texts are much more specific about who they were dealing with. So therefore, I am not like that. That was not my early name. I have many names, but that was not my personality.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Human Colony Hoopalo TV Saturday webinar.
Hey,
Today
welcome to
is
this
March
webinar. 5th. You can call in the hotline if you want. I guess it's there. And I'm here. Hold on a sec. Favorite webinar. I'm watching some channeling videos. A new guy that I found. Jim Charles. And it's pretty entertaining.
We do interact with you, but not the way that we would like to. On saying that, I would like to let you know that there has been several different discussions about ways that you can come to the colonies that might be better, that might be more substantial, that might help you with your remembering better. We did discuss the site-to-site, but of course, we knew that they were not going to approve of that yet. However, they are softening on their points with site-to-site.
Site-to-site is what I'm going to do when I get this show going. I'm going to be jumping around all the websites. From site to site we go into the weird, wide world of the web. And got some fun stuff to talk about today. You can see the little animation up here. So you can guess where we're going. To the stars. I do have the hotline open. I don't have a topic, and I don't really need to think of a better way to integrate that into the show. But it's open. I guess you can call in if you want. Because we're just waiting to start the show. That's right. I'm kind of tired. I'm trying to drink some coffee and get jazzed
they
up.
know that it is inevitable that we and you will be someday together. They are.
Well, okay. Here the music's going. I guess it's time to start the show. That's right. It's another cool stream. I've got no time to wait today because I got a hard out. I don't have anyone here to make fun of me for saying that. I have to close the call-in line now. I've got a hard out today, so I gotta get right to it and do a show. It's gonna be fun, and crazy, and weird. Pretty excited about today's topic. Aliens. What should I say if I call? Well, sorry to say, I've just closed the call-in line. I'll think of a topic next time, something interesting, and I'll try to switch things up a little bit for the little preliminary. I don't know what I call this part. But anyway, this is the intro. And I got to get my head in the game and do a nice, big, crazy intro. So here we go. Oh, because it's the cool stream, everybody. It's Saturday afternoon. I hope everyone did their chores because it's time to watch the show. That's right. It's going to be a lot of fun today. I myself... Okay, bye. Well, see ya. Sorry. I didn't do any chores today. I did some yoga. That's kind of cool. I got my chakras aligned. So that's, I guess, sort of a self-care chore, if you will. Oh, geez. Well, I'm already sowing the seeds of discontent amongst the viewers today. That's just what happens sometimes. I'm used to it. Put my foot in my mouth, and I didn't get to that point doing the yoga, you know. I'm not that flexible. Anyway, I hope you did your chores and all the other stuff I got to say before the show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're here on an Saturday afternoon, ready to go. Because it's time to do another cool stream, baby. Yow! It's gonna be a lot of fun when you're watching the show. It's gonna be weird and crazy and wild. Some of the weirdest stuff you've ever heard of. We had a lot of fun last week, so I thought, let's do it again. Let's do another damn show. We'll do the damn thing. I'm not afraid of what kind of secrets we're gonna uncover. Into the realms of the weird and the untold. Some stuff that needs to be heard in this day and age, I guess. Kind of like most of the topics we cover on the show is we need to get the word out, and make people aware of what's really going on. Yeah. That's right, on today's episode, we are talking about aliens. Once again, specifically UFOs. And some early UFO sightings. Some of the earliest stuff I could find. There's a bunch of it. There's a whole lot of it. A lot of things to read. I just had this page open for whatever reason. Do the damn thing. Quoting The Bachelorette. I'm having all the feels today doing the show. So, last week we had some new viewers pop into the show, and we talked about a weird subject called the Ascended Masters. And I hope some of those people are watching. I'm not really sure. Lots of stuff out there. And it's all true. None of it's made up, and none of it's weird. It's all normal. Nothing to see here. So, last week we did a crazy show, and I thought, this is a lot of fun. Let's do another one. Didn't get the notification. Oh, crap. This thing is on the fritz. Well, okay, so doing a show about aliens and UFOs and stuff, we've done this topic a couple of times. The first time, we talked about all the crazy alien races, including the Pleiadians. Let me get my Pleiadian sound up here, get all this sorted out. It's just going to take a minute, so I'm losing steam. Where is it? Here it is. Wow! We did Pleiadians, and we talked about the Anunnaki. We talked about reptilians and some other guys. The Greys, and the tall Greys, and the short Greys, and all the Greys. And then the next alien episode we did was about alien cults. Some people seemed interested in that when I mentioned that last week. So we did alien cults and talked about Corey Good and some other people, some more Pleiadian stuff. And of course, the Heaven's Gate and some Scientology stuff. So I thought, let's jump back into aliens. The next phase of our the big reveal and the big unveiling of all the secrets of aliens is that we have to go all the way back in time, back to the very beginning of all the alien stuff, and figure out where it all came from. So of course, might be some Area 51 stuff, a little bit, some stuff about Roswell. I was going to try to get Big Jim to call in, but he's busy, as most people are on a Saturday, and I'm busy right now. I'm trying to do a show. It's crazy. Also, a little side note, I did upload some of my stuff on YouTube, so there's some newer-ish episodes up there now. I still have the issue of getting copyright notices when I upload things, so I have to go back and clip certain things out. Not a whole lot to do, but it takes a little bit of time, so there's still some that have to be edited a little bit. But I'm trying to get all that stuff updated for your viewing pleasure. Alright, so let's do this again. Once again, I got a heart out. I've got to get out of here in a reasonable amount of time, so I have to truly blaze through this stuff. Get into it. Aliens and UFOs. So where do we begin? And also I've got some really good documentaries to watch. I found some great, cool stuff out there, as usual, because it's the cool stream, and we're doing a show. So I thought, why the hell not? I don't think Big Jim's going to call in to talk about Roswell, but that's okay with me. I want to talk to him. I'm a one-man show today, as usual. Alright, so where are we going to start? Well, let's start with this crazy guy. Back in 1947, Kenneth Arnold. Are we seeing this? You heard of this guy? Kenneth Arnold, 1947. One of the first UFO sightings that you've ever heard of. And this guy will come up, he'll come up quite a bit in some of these videos. Let's watch a quick clip of it. See if we can get and then we'll read a little bit on this here website. That's kind of what we do. Let's check it out.
On June 24th, 1947, a private pilot named Kenneth Arnold spotted a group of lustrous delta-shaped objects flying around the Cascade Mountains in Washington state.
Oh, lustrous delta-shaped objects. And what was this guy doing flying around 1947? Why wasn't he overseas fighting against the axis of evil? Unless the war was already over, I don't remember.
The story made headlines across the country, inspiring
Mr.
a
Food
worldwide
going
fascination with flying saucers, and over 20 years of U.S. government research.
No, Mr. Food's not going after me on YouTube. Sorry, I gotta interrupt. Gotta address this. That it's actually some of these comedy videos, some of these other videos that got me all screwed up with copyright stuff. But not to worry. Just a couple things here and there. Anyway, let's get back into flying saucers.
Arnold's wasn't the first anomalous aerial sighting in human history, or even the first in 1947, but it captured the public imagination like few
Whoa.
sightings before, and it birthed a new mythology of extraterrestrial visitation.
The sighting. Let's hear it. What
Around
happened?
2:15 p.m. on June 24th, 1947, businessman and private pilot Kenneth Arnold left Chehalis, Washington in his Call Air Model A plane on
Oh.
a business flight to Yakima.
On a business
Just
flight.
before 3 p.m.,
It's a cool
Arnold
plane.
spotted what looked like a chain or a Chinese kite weaving across the face of Mount
Chinese
Rainier.
kite.
As it got closer, he could distinguish 9 separate objects in reverse echelon formation,
Reverse-
around 2,900 meters
Reverse
altitude.
echelon formation. Getting silenced by the big toilet.
The objects were rounded and delta-shaped, with concave
Delta-shaped.
triangular protrusions on their rears.
On
They
their
appeared
rears.
to repeatedly dip in the sky and tilt their wings in Arnold's direction,
Got a
reflecting
protrusion on
intensely
my
bright
rear.
flashes of light through his windshield.
Crap. He was blinded
The
by the
objects
light.
were moving so fast that Arnold decided they must have been fighter jets flying in formation. However,
Formation.
they flew with
Formation.
the
It must have been Beyonce. Yakima. We all know that classic
craft
formation.
at the highest altitude, not the lowest, and Arnold could not see any tails.
Arnold.
He clocked the time it took the formation to travel between the peaks of Mount Rainier and Mount Adams, which he knew to be
There
30
we
to
go.
40 kilometers away. Immediately after landing in Yakima, Arnold told a number
Yakima.
of friends and fellow pilots about his sighting. He also used his measurements to calculate that the objects were between 13 to 15 meters long, and that they were traveling nearly 2,000 kilometers
There-
per hour
there
at the
they
time
are.
of the sighting.
That's the saucer right there. Pretty cool. Looks like a big boomerang.
Arnold took his story to the East Oregonian
East
newspaper,
Oregonian.
reporting that the object seemed to bounce through the air like a saucer skipping across water.
Oh,
Within 2 days, newspapers were running front-page stories on Arnold's flying saucers, although Arnold himself had not called them that.
aha.
The term
And so
stuck,
hold on.
however, until being replaced by the Air Force term UFO in the early 1950s.
UFO. So there we go. That's a little overview. That's what we're talking about today. UFOs, flying saucers. So he saw the flying formation, the delta-shaped objects with bright flashing lights, and he did the calculations, and he said these things are huge and they're flying very fast. What the heck is this stuff? And he said they were like skipping, like stones across the water, like saucers on the water. And then people thought that he said they were saucers. Isn't that kind of weird? Kind of crazy? He said it looked like a Chinese kite weaving across the face of Mount Rainier. Reverse wedge formation. Pretty crazy. So of course the government took interest. Alright, of course they had to get their little... They had to poke their fingers into it and figure out what the heck is going on here with these saucers. And there are also other reports of things flying in the sky before all this. And I've got a website that shows some of those things. Some of those stories. The U.S. Air Force took interest and they wanted to figure out all of the UFO reports that they could find. So that's pretty crazy, right? Some UFOs. So back, Project 1947. This is a cool website. What's going on with this music? The mysterious Foo Fighters of World War II. And I'm not talking about Dave Grohl and the gang. No, I'm talking about the Foo Fighters of World War II. our researchers delve into a strange aerial phenomenon that had hardened bomber crews and fighter pilots fearing for their lives. What? So this even goes back before 1947. A series of incomprehensible events suddenly erupted over battle zones from North Africa to Guadalcanal to the Rhineland. Hundreds of flyers and infantrymen on both sides of the conflict had occasion to look into the skies in a mastery that had never been explained. Whatever the cause, these weird aerial apparitions, which came to be known as Foo Fighters, and once again, we're not talking about Dave Grohl and the gang, he took his wings and learned to fly. He wasn't even alive back then. They were enough to make witnesses forget momentarily the life and death concerns of men in combat. They got to learn to fly. And it's no wonder that these troops in World War II were looking up in the sky. They were afraid of getting bombs dropped on their head. But they were even more afraid of the damn Foo Fighters. 1947, that's Kenneth Arnold's Mount Rainier sighting. To firmly plant the phrase unidentified flying objects in the public consciousness. It was more than 5 years away from the first known sighting of a Foo took place. And where did that name come from? I'm not sure. Maybe it says here in this thing I'm going to read a little bit of. Witnesses saw some stuff. The ship was cruising through the Indian Ocean during the early morning hours of a clear, starry night in September 1941. Seaman Mar de Roba happened to look up and saw, as he recalled some years later, some strange globe glowing with greenish light about a half the size of the full moon. And then the thing just disappeared. Several months later, on February 26, 1942, and this is 5 years before the famous sighting, so they were seeing things flying through the air during these big battles during war. It's kind of crazy that things were flying around, and who knows what it could have been. While aboard the ship in the Timor Sea near New Guinea, 1957. This guy told the Victorian Flying Saucer Research Society, while on watch for enemy aircraft just after noon, I was scanning the skies with binoculars when suddenly I saw a large illuminated disc. Approaching at terrific speed, the object proceeded to circle high above our ship, the cruiser Tromp of Royal Netherlands Navy. Their ship was named the Tromp. Interesting. After reporting it to the officers on the bridge, they were unable to identify it as any known craft. After keeping track of this object for about 3 to 4 hours as it flew in big circles at the same height, the craft suddenly veered off in a tremendous burst of speed. And what do you know, another guy had a crazy encounter. This one's in 1942, and this goes on for... You can scroll through this whole thing and see all these crazy sightings about these UFOs. Look at this. This is insane. German guys saw it too. Crystal balls, clear about the size of basketballs. They would approach to within 300 feet of the bomber formation, then would seem to become magnetized to our formation and fly alongside. After a while, they would peel off like a plane and leave. Mostly they were seen at night. Crazy. Look at all this. There's tons of these things. The crystal ball. It was definitely no hallucination. Whoever spots a UFO is my hero. Radar sightings were extremely rare. Look at all these. There's tons of stuff. Project1947.com. The Foo Fighter mystery continues unsolved. Alright, so if you're ever just wanting to read some old accounts of Foo Fighter stuff, this website's got 1 million of them. And they also have some other UFO reports. These are kind of cool. It even goes back further than that. 1909. Light in the skies. Oh my god. A light believed by many to have been attached to an airship attracted a great deal of attention in the northeastern skies. attracts attention of night owls. 1 minute, it would be large and brilliant, and the next small and dim. It would remain apparently stationary for a while and then speed along in a easterly direction at a rapid rate. What's the call-in line? Hey, Big Jim is here. All right. He wants to call in. We haven't talked about Roswell yet, but I suppose we can open up the lines. But I used a book about aliens when I was 12. When I got home, it had detailed drawings of a UFO done by the previous book owner. Whoa, that's cool. What's the call-in line? Let's see if I can remember. Wow! Jim Fridge. Want to know about UFOs. Subscribe for 3 months. Thanks for subscribing. We're just barely scratching the surface. All right, the call-in line, that's 601-653-COOL, 2665. And I guess I could have given you a private call-in line. So anyway, I'm going to keep talking, and whatever happens, happens. So, this is crazy stuff. 1909, they were talking about UFOs. The Sandusky, Ohio. What a place. There's even some in Delaware. People of Middletown tell tales of ghostly dirigible with lights. 1909. A mysterious airship which flies only at night is causing considerable excitement and keeping the people of Orange County residing between Goshen and Newburgh up nights in their effort to get a look at it. For the past month, persons who have been out late at night have reported seeing an airship, but few believe the stories. We're receiving a call, and we're going to allow...
From
Jim.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
I've never used this before, so... Pressing 1 to receive a call. Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's a little bit early to have the call-in, because we were going to cover Roswell, and I know you're an expert because you live in that area. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not necessarily an expert. I would like to say more of an enthusiast, kind of just independent, unaffiliated, itinerant researcher. Kind of like to go out there, collect the evidence, kind of wander around the desert. Go look for some clues. Go look for some, traces. Kind of bucking the research trend. A lot of the research out there is, biased in its own way, biased in a big way, and I'm out there trying to cover the truth of it all.
So you go out and you're trying to find evidence around Roswell, specifically.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Interesting. I did not know that. I thought you mostly did like pottery stuff.
Well, this is kind of an avocational interest. I like to get Roswell. One of my favorite things, and I like to get out there and look around for like any kind of traces or clues, any sort of indication that they've been there.
Okay. So, do you have anything that you've noticed, or are there any old timers out there that say, I remember the day that damn UFO came crashing down, and here's kind of the area. Can you just tell us about just whatever you know? We'd be happy to take that information and incorporate it into some of our research.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad that you asked, because one of the things that I do like to do is get out there and do interviews, kind of conduct some ethnographic research, see kind of who's kind of been in touch with them, who's let them kind of come into their place, kind of set up there for the day or for the afternoon, sometimes at night, kind of seeing, and then looking around as well for evidence that they've been there, kind of digging through the trash, digging through the recycling, looking around for like some signs that they may have put up, signs directing you to their location necessarily. Trash, kind of things that they left behind, things that they want us to find, maybe they don't want us to find, but we're finding them anyway, and I'm talking about like maybe something that they had to eat or drink, or maybe it's like a script or kind of rewrites for that day, maybe like a call sheet, something like that.
A call sheet. Well, I'm not really
Yeah.
sure what you're talking about there. I kind of was hoping to get some info about Roswell, and like I said, we haven't
That's what I'm
got to that
I'm talking
point.
about now. I'm talking about Roswell. New Mexico. It's a wonderful, wonderful show on the CW. They film it in and around Roswell. I like to go find like places where they set up the sets, where they're filming. Like kind of go look around and see like, see if I can take the episodes and match that shot to like a specific location in and around the city of Roswell.
Interesting. I have not heard of this show. That's not quite what we're talking about, but I appreciate.
It's a science fiction drama on the CW. It's an adaptation of the Roswell High book series. Just entering the second season.
The second season. All right. Well,
Janine Mason plays Liz Ortecho. Nathan Parsons is Max Evans.
Max Heaven. Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling in. It's not quite the information we're looking for, and
so I found a lot of stuff about Roswell. I found like one time I found a script for episode 4, had a lot of notes in it, and I think that it might have been Tyler Blackburn's script. Now Tyler Blackburn plays Alex Dave.
All right.
He's a military veteran with his fair share of physical and
see what's happening here,
trauma.
and
he prepares to
we're gonna have to let you go. But thanks for calling in. So, see what I stepped into. But it's a lot of fun. Big Jim calling in, doing a little prank, and that's what happens when you have a call-in line, I guess. I should have known, but it's a lot of fun. He was trying to be funny. We would have liked for him to be a little bit more serious and give us some of the hard facts about Roswell. But it's kind of a fun call-in. It was a prank, I believe, he was talking about a TV show shot in Roswell. But speaking of TV show, now this is actually a good segue, so we appreciate him calling in. We don't want to disparage him in any way. Anyone that would like to contribute to the show, it's not open phone lines, but I extended the invitation, and that's what we got in return for that. So, no, I'm not going to cast aspersions on his character or anything like that. Speaking of TV shows, Roswell, here we go. Hulu, so go ahead and watch that if you want. Speaking of TV shows, I'm going to finally get to this. Now we're going to go on, talk about some of the investigations that the government was up to. The CIA, the Air Force, and all these people were investigating UFOs. Around 1947, of course, Kenneth Arnold, there it is again, businessman and pilot, saw the flat discs. So they launched an investigation. Went under several names, including Project Sign. That was the Air Force's initial response to the phenomenon of these damn flying saucers. Project Sign. And then following investigations, including Project Blue Book. So, speaking of TV shows, you can check out, there's a new show that just came out, and I was totally unaware of this show. It's called Project Blue Book, and it's about, I guess, loosely based on some of this stuff, set around the 50s, and it's kind of a period piece investigating this stuff, and it's starring Peter Baelish himself, Littlefinger, from Game of Thrones, plays one of the Project Blue Book detectives, and I think it's on one of those networks, and he says, "I've seen the UFOs. I've seen it with my own eyes." That's my impression. That's Peter Baelish looking for UFOs. "I've seen the tall greys over the King's Road. Sansa." A lot of show recommendations today. All right, let's get back to the real information. Enough of my bad impressions here. Project Sign, based out of Dayton, Ohio. So some more Ohio references. The Air Force, they did some investigating. The real one we want to talk about, Project Grudge. That sounds ominous. Project's name reflected the Air Force's new antagonistic attitude toward handling UFO reports. Oh, thanks for my good impression. Thank you. No, I believe that guy is Scottish, maybe. Are they UFOs? Okay, the project was the dark ages of the investigation. They were operating under a debunking directive that all UFO reports were to be judged to have natural explanations. What? Little investigation was conducted, and many of the explanations strained credulity. You hate to see that. The situation came to a boil in September of 1951 when there was a UFO sighting near Fort Monmouth in New Jersey. Pilots and radar operators reported observing a number of fast-moving, highly maneuverable disc-shaped aircraft. Project Grudge was ordered to investigate. The guys at the Pentagon, they had a meeting, and this one guy said that the discs thought they were intelligently controlled. However, they were frustrated by Grudge's mandate to debunk all reports. So even on the inside of the deep state, thanks for that, Puff Deluxe, playing the Mr. Food. I wish I had the creepy sound drop for the UFO stuff we're talking about. Project Grudge became Project Blue Book under the direction, and I've got another joke for that, Project Blue Book. I'm not talking about when I have a dream about when I'm in college and I have to get to the big test and I don't have my blue book with me. Remember those? You had to get the blue book to do your written exam on that. Project Blue Book under the direction of Ruppelt, who was a captain. All right, so this all gets kind of a lot of work, a lot of stuff, a lot of things to read. But this guy under Project Blue Book created the term unidentified flying object to replace more popular but somewhat unscientific flying saucer and flying disc, terms used in the press. He streamlined the reporting process and hired some people to create standard reporting that could be used to gather information. And I've actually got some stuff to look at, but let's check out some videos because these are good. These are so good. We need to watch them. Some really cool documentaries from like the 80s. I'll try to direct you to where you can see these. So here's one about Project Blue Book. Yeah, I wanted to watch from the beginning. Damn it.
Information about UFOs? Was the Air Force Project Blue Book just an elaborate cover-up designed to prevent the public from learning the truth?
Ma!
Why was the project summarily dropped? Were too many people getting too close to the amazing facts already in the possession of the Air Force?
What the frick was going on?
For the astounding truth behind Project Blue Book.
Astounding truth.
This chapter
Here it is.
of UFO Diaries.
UFO Diaries, Project Blue Book. Ah! 11. Boom, boom. Boom. Ah! Flying saucer. You gotta see the intro. Ah! They're flying through the sky. Crap. Ah! Even Congress is getting involved. And there's a piece of the wreckage. Directed by Doug Campbell. This is probably something on Discovery, one of those channels. UFO Diaries. This is like some 90s.
The mystery behind the UFO phenomenon has puzzled people all over the world. What are these things?
What are these things?
And what is their purpose here?
And what
all
do
the
they
unidentified objects seen by thousands of witnesses always turn out to be something familiar or natural? Or are they sometimes proven to be something not made on Earth? If even a few of the UFOs sighted are in fact visitors from another world, how should the governments of our world react? Should they treat these strange flying craft as friends or assume them to be enemies? How have we responded to UFOs in the past? Has an official policy ever been stated by the leaders of our planet's nations?
The American government's policy on UFOs has taken some bizarre twists and turns in the
bizarre.
last 50 years.
To the best of our
Weird
knowledge,
stuff.
this all began in 1947.
And
when
here
a
we go.
private plane
We gotta go back to 1947 once again. I know I've told you this story. We're gonna see it again. Kenneth
flying
Arnold.
over Washington State.
Looks pretty cool guy.
Businessman Kenneth Arnold saw 9 crescent-shaped objects flying in an echelon formation near Mount Rainier.
There we go.
And he naturally thought that these were planes.
That's an
but
expert.
They were not behaving like any airplanes he had seen.
He told reporters at Yakima, Washington,
Yakima.
that the motion of the objects he'd seen
Balloon
was
boy.
like that of a saucer skipping across the pond.
This was the first sighting to really stick in the public mind, and it gave it the term flying saucers.
Flying
Based
saucer.
on Arnold's experience as a pilot,
Arnold.
based on his credibility as a businessman, there seemed to be little reason
what?
not to accept what he'd said.
Keep your sunglasses on. Those are
When
some
the Air
bright
Force finally
UFOs.
issued their official explanation for the Arnold sighting, they said it was a
Yakima.
mirage.
It's a mirage.
Some kind of apparition floating in the atmosphere.
After
a
that
bunch of
sighting,
bull
hundreds of people
S.
saw objects in the sky and reported them to the Army Air Force. And in September 1947, Lieutenant General Nathan Twining, head of Air Materiel Command, wrote to the office of the Commanding General of the Army Air Forces. And in this letter, he strongly recommended that an official investigation be carried out.
Some good
and
transitions.
on December 30th that year, a project was approved
Movie.
and given space at Wright Field, Dayton, Ohio. The general public knew that the Air Force had started some kind of hunt for flying saucers, so the operation was widely referred to as Project Saucer.
Project
While its
Saucer.
official code name was Project Sign. Now,
Project Sign.
supposedly was an earnest attempt to discover the truth about UFOs.
Ernest.
But from
So Ernest gets abducted. So that's a little bit about Project Blue Book. You can go check it out. Project Blue Book. Boom, ba, boom, boom, boom. And I've got another one here. This one's pretty cool. When I skip to this scene is another. This one's a little bit before. This is a this is a made-for-TV movie. I've got to rewind a little bit. Let's go. And there's actually some commercials. These are kind of cool. Let's show a commercial. Let me just edit this real quick. Bum, bum. This is a made-for-TV movie about Project Blue Book. It's kind of cool. Bum, bum. Hold tight and let's see. It's called Project UFO, 1978, Washington D.C. incident.
Teaches Mr. Olson's spoiled nephew a valuable
A commercial.
lesson. Michael
It's a
Landon
fuzzy
stars in
fuzzy
Little House on
memories.
the Prairie. Tomorrow at 8. 7
This is
Central
cool.
and
This is a
Mountain
cool
Time
video because it's got all the commercials in it.
on NBC.
Fuzzymemories.tv.
You give this new Dial 2 dandruff shampoo 2 minutes.
So I gotta watch a
and you're
commercial
home
real
free
quick.
For the next 5 days. Just let the lather set for 2 minutes and rinse.
This is not UFO related, just a
2-minute
sponsored
lather,
ad.
5-day protection.
New
2-minute
Dial 2
lather.
dandruff shampoo. The
Cool
2-minute
stream
treatment
brought to you,
clinically proven to
brought
help
to you
control
by
even severe dandruff. up to
Dial
5
2
full days.
Dander Shampoo.
2 minutes and the next 5 days are yours.
New Dial 2 dandruff shampoo.
2 minutes is all you need when you're in the shower. You know.
29 overcome by dangerous
Ah!
winds. Details at 10.
This is in Chicago too. So, here we go. Project
This portion
UFO.
of UFO is brought to you by Cascade.
God damn it!
The
More
detergent
commercials.
That bites, drop that spot. For
Cascade.
virtually spotless dishes, nothing can beat Cascade.
Cascade. Okay, let's get to the good stuff. This is a good scene here. I might see an alien.
North Central Virginia, 10:05
Virginia.
hours, 15 July.
And then it settled down. Right here.
These are the
Same
project.
flying saucer I read about in the newspaper.
These are the Project Blue Book guys, and this lady had an experience. She's telling them about. That's what's happening here.
The one over our nation's capital. You know, your pilot must have been unfriendly. He had to be. Else they never would have shot him down.
No one is saying the pilot was shot down, Mrs. Carlisle.
Everybody knows that. And that's exactly what I told those reporters.
What?
Landed here, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Right here in Estabrook, Virginia.
No, ma'am. I mean, did it land in this particular spot?
Not really. It never really seemed to touch the ground.
Mrs. Carlisle,
Not really.
would you please tell us exactly what you saw?
Yes, I'm happy to.
Let's hear
I
it.
was asleep and then I was awake. And there was no sound. No sound at all. And I was drawn to the window.
She's drawn to the
Now, don't
window.
ask me why.
She saw some shit.
And then I saw.
Ah, shit! Ah! Oh my God, the Holy Bible. Let me get my Bible. Be gone, you evil spirits. It's freaky. I'm scared. Hey, why don't I just go outside and see a spaceship out there? Wow! Oh my gosh. Look at that thing. Freaky. This is directed by Steven Spielberg. Good Lord. Some good special effects. Oh my God. Ah, there it is, the saucer. She's astounded. Oh no. I do declare. Oh my word. It's a freaking alien. Right here in Virginia, man. Okay. We're gonna see an alien now. Get ready. I think this is a little artistic license what's coming up here. What kind of alien is she gonna see? Looks like some kind of robot. What is happening? It's like a little Roomba. Greetings. Maybe it's a probe. Ah, crap.
No, I'm not afraid.
Huh?
Thank you.
It's like a wine bottle opener. I'm not afraid. Thank you. About to get zapped. Okay. So I'll go back in my spaceship. Dear Lord, that was a crazy thing. She had the Bible. The power of Christ compels you, alien. Get out of here. Oh, there it goes. This really happened, I guess. Project Blue Book. Wow! Crazy. And that was it. That was her experience. Pretty cool.
And as quickly as it came, it was gone.
Why did you say, no, I am not afraid, thank you?
Oh, because he spoke to me.
Huh?
I didn't hear the words, but I understood as if he did. He told me they were visitors, and they meant us no harm.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I felt wonderful after they left, all tingly and excited, full of energy. Oh, excuse me. That's telephone. Will you excuse me, gentlemen?
That's telephone. That's her Project Blue Book experience. Pretty wild. Pretty weird. She had the vapors. Oh, I caught the vapors. Alright, let's get into some real... That was just a fictional show. That was kind of funny. Let's get into the real hardcore. And here we go from the desks of Project Blue Book. This is the real stuff. The case files. This is on the blackvault.com. Check this out. This guy, a UFO historian buff in Ohio, once again, near the Wright-Patterson base. Let's see, it says here, the Project Blue Book, he spent years doing stuff. Oh yeah, so he was on Craigslist in 2013. Came across an ad that advertised Project Blue Book pics and documents. The ad was from Centerville. It stated the materials were apparently the property of an Air Force captain who was assigned to Project Blue Book. They found behind a pile of lumber. It might have been an alien trying to break in. So upon seeing, he was intrigued. Good chance it was the real deal. Let's see. Purchased all the files, all unclassified. Made sure to get a screenshot of the ad, just in case. So this guy found a bunch of Project Blue Book stuff on Craigslist. So photographed the garage where the items were found. And now they're on the web, theblackvault.com. A lot of it is just some of this stuff, like just the wreckage of flying saucer, the alleged wreckage of a flying saucer at Fitzbergen, but denied by the Royal Norwegian Air Force. Pretty boring stuff. They've got all kinds of stuff. I like here the photographs. That's what I like to look at. Where did they go? Okay, photo. I want to see the pics. Some aliens. There we go. Some alien pics. Some UFOs. Check that out. Possible satellite. Not really sure. Could you imagine if you've just found these documents? It's pretty cool. This one's from Brooklyn. It's an alien on a big wheel bike with a handlebar mustache. Caused by particle of foreign matter on the film. I don't know. I think it's a UFO. Let's see. He went UFO hunting. Probable hoax. 1967. Oh! Is that for real? These were in the case files of Project Blue Book. A saucer. Flying saucer. Here's one in Omaha, Nebraska. Probable aircraft. Insufficient clarity. He observed a white object that looked like a cigar. Oh, there it is. Oh, this is kind of crazy. Are those UFOs? There's another one. Don't have any descriptions for these, but it's kind of cool to scroll through these old photos and see some orbs, maybe some UFOs. Probable reflection. Image was caused by a reflection. Not quite a UFO. Just some blips and blops on the film. They didn't know back in those days. Oh, there's some. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, maybe UFO there. Not really sure. That's kind of neat. Wow, that one's cool. 2 aircraft were in the immediate area. So you can scroll through some of these over at theblackvault.com. Check out some old case files. Photographs of UFOs from the Project Blue Book, the real deal Project Blue Book. Kind of freaky stuff. Wow, there's one. Oh no, Muskogee. It was an Okie from Muskogee. Ow! Oh my god. Ow! Okay, that's kind of weird. It was a shaved monkey. Alright. Ooh. Okay, that wasn't an alien, that was a shaved monkey. Alright, let's get out of here. I'm getting scared. Some other UFO events. The Chills White-Witted sighting. It's one of the very first reports of a large UFO made by commercial air pilots. It's very hard to dispute these photos. The experience is one of a kind for these two pilots. The extraordinary event was cruising 5,000 feet above the city of Montgomery of Alabama. At 2 a.m., they were relaxing and cruising along in their aircraft, in their commercial plane. They saw a jet coming right at them. The glowing object barely missed them, passing on their starboard side 1,000 feet. Two pilots agreed the objects had no wing or tail section. Both also agreed seeing at least 2 rows of windows which appeared glowing like burning magnesium. The object had a pointed nose and there was a bluish glow running on its belly from nose to its end. And it had orange-red exhaust. Crazy. Both pilots clearly witnessed the oncoming craft do an abrupt pull-up just after missing them. And it looked like this looked like a cigar. So that's one of the sightings. This is a cool website. UFO Casebook. The Triangles. UFO Crashes. Physical Trace. UFOs in Water. Oh my word. There's too much stuff to really... The term flying saucer was made by covering Kenneth Arnold's sighting, June of 1947. If you remember that date in history, they misquoted him. But there's so much stuff, it's hard to... Here's the Foo Fighters, the Missouri crash, alien bodies, preceded the well-known Roswell event. What? Opened a tantalizing account of military-controlled UFO crash retrieval, which is still being researched today. Oh my god. Well, that's right, Roswell, some stuff went down. The summer of 1947 was a pivotal year in UFO history. Young boy, talking about Roswell. We'll try to watch some more videos too, those are pretty good. Maybe better than what I've got to say, but quick overview. The young boy was traveling with his uncle, visiting archaeological sites. Sound familiar? Places of interest throughout the desert. The 4th of July of that weekend of that year, a mysterious object of unknown origin flashed through the night sky, crashing into Earth, spreading parts and debris over a wide swath of the previously tranquil desert flatlands. A few days later, a famous meteorite hunter informs the boy's uncle some mysterious objects have been found in the desert near Roswell that have had an unknown writing on them. The uncle goes to Roswell to investigate and takes the boy with him. The Roswell incident updated below. Among the adjacent links, new insights into the Roswell stuff. Billy the Kid. What does that have to do with anything? This is a crazy, weird website. Because it has to do with this thing called the Wanderling, and I don't have time to get into that because I don't fully understand it, but maybe we'll come back and visit it someday. A strange website. Here we go. News report. That's kind of interesting. 1947, Roswell incident was first reported. Beep, beep, beep. Conspiracies began. World War II had ended and the world braced for what would come next. The feeling anticipation of something happening next keeps us engaged in the simulation.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection. Late this afternoon, a bulletin from New Mexico suggested that the widely publicized mystery of the flying saucers may soon be solved. Army Air Force officers reported that one of the strange discs had been found and inspected sometime last week. Our correspondents in Los Angeles and Chicago have been in contact with Army officials endeavoring to obtain all possible late information. Joe Wilson reports to us now from Chicago.
Reporting live.
The Army may be getting to the bottom of all this talk about the so-called flying saucers. As a matter of fact, the 509th Atomic Bomb Group headquarters at Roswell, New Mexico, reports that it has received one of the discs which landed on a ranch outside Roswell. The disc...
They found a disc, apparently. The incident took place in 1947. that's around the time Kenneth Arnold saw his discs. An airborne object crashed on a ranch near Roswell, New Mexico. And here's where I wanted Jim to come in and give us some insight into where that might be, and if he especially wanted to know if he knew any old-timers that were around when this happened and knew about it. You know, if he had some connection, but I guess he wanted to do a prank instead. Explanations of what took place are based on both official and unofficial communications. The crash is attributed to a secret U.S. military Air Force surveillance balloon by the U.S. government. The most famous explanation of what occurred is that the object was a spacecraft containing extraterrestrial life. Since the late 70s, the Roswell incident has been a subject of much controversy and lots of conspiracy theories. The U.S. Armed Forces maintain what was recovered from Roswell was debris from the crash of an experimental high-altitude surveillance balloon belonging to what was then a classified top-secret program named Mogul. In contrast, many UFO proponents maintain that an alien craft was found, its occupants were captured, and that the military engaged in a massive cover-up. Roswell is synonymous with UFOs. That's right. It's where we find all the crazy UFOs. And apparently there was a piece that had some crazy symbols on it, which may or may not be true, not really sure. But this website tells us a little bit about that. This guy found some of these pieces, and here's some drawings of what synonymous blogger, the Wanderling, in a short post buried on an obscure website, notes the connection as well, and says the mathematical physicist Dr. Milo Wolf offers a better illustration of these electron clouds. So they think these are the symbols, and it has to do with electron clouds. And they've got their information from this website, the Wanderling. And I think I might have some videos of some of these pieces. Let's check them out. And we gotta watch some more of these videos, because this is the main cool thing that we've got going on here. Let's see. What do we got? New evidence. The Roswell incident. This is from TLC. Let's check out the crash parts, and then we'll go back and check out some of these other ones. There we go. This is what they found. These are the parts of the alien spacecraft. Apparently. But maybe it was an air balloon, a weather balloon, or a surveillance balloon of some sort. This is a video floating around the web. There's some crazy symbols of maybe what some of these parts from the spacecraft look like. Pretty weird. Not too exciting of a video, but is it real? Is it not real? Is it from back in the 60s, or did they just use a filter to make it look like that? And there's some hands. So you put your hands to operate the UFO. Here, it looks like it has maybe one extra finger, if I'm counting that correctly. The truth is out there. Freaky. Here's some of the symbols. These look a little bit different than what we saw on that website just now. Alright, let's see. Let's check out the Roswell incident. Roswell UFO. Alien crash uncovered. UFO crash site opens to public. That's one to see. The deaths of Project Blue Book. Here I'm just reading the videos that I have lined up here. How about this one from TLC?
We saw this glow of light, just this kind of a halo of a light, just kind of beaming out.
He wanted to tell me about a crash of some sort of craft that had occurred on his ranch.
He would wad it up in his hand. When it hit the table, it spread out just like water with no wrinkles.
What? There we
It
go.
looked like there's a hieroglyphic type writing written along the inside.
That's the video we just watched.
They had no earlobes. They had 2 ear canals.
2 very small orifices for the nose, a concave face.
Oh, yes, it was a cover-up from the beginning.
It was? The Roswell incident. Okay.
Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. A military town and Air Force base. Home to America's 509th Squadron. A tight-knit community of soldiers and civilians in the heartland of rural America.
I want to see the incident. What happened on that day in 1947? This boy. Ow. Enola Gay.
In the summer of 1947, America was gripped by a wave of sightings of flying saucers.
The autopsy.
In Roswell, there were many witnesses to a strange light in the sky.
But it was just going in a northerly motion at a pretty rapid speed, but nothing like a falling star or a meteorite. So bright like that, you couldn't look direct at it very long at a time. Then you had to look to the side of it, just like looking into a bright sun.
William Woody is 61, a pig farmer who works for the local bus company in Roswell.
Pig farmer. He goes.
He remembers to this day what he saw.
And he feeds his 40 and 50 feral hogs. They do the autopsy on Fox? On the X-Files, maybe? I have something cool about that. Speaking of that crazy alien, this is a website that I found. Alien autopsy, faked or fiction? What? This is at truedang.com/autopsy. How to make an alien. They said it couldn't be done. Oh, but it can. See some other alien autopsies. Autopsy bleeps and blunders. Watch the videos and play Spot the Goof. How to make an alien. Creating stuff in an attempt to fool an audience. Looking at stuff other people have created and trying to figure out how they did it. Hypothetical example. Let's go to the... Here it is. Now what? If we're really in a hurry, we might make our final alien from the body cast as is, but that could lead to cosmetic problems later. The better technique is to explaining how to make an alien. The resulting sculpture has a very nice muscle definition, the subtle curves and shape of a real body, the subtle and sensual curves of an alien body. However, we made one mistake. Cast our human standing up. We forgot our corpse would eventually be seen on its back like this. Oh no. Creepy alien bits. Alien heads and you. Check it out. To go with our chubby little body, we'd probably make a chubby little head with a little double chin and bags under the eyes and so on like this. Hopefully this time we won't forget our alien will be seen on its back. Oops. Now our entire alien sculpture is finished with clay skin textured continuously throughout. Now these people, they're talking about all about this dang thing like it's a hoax. This is all about how to make final touches. Roll it. Action. Very well done, fellas. Finally, we get our establishing shots of our critter. We have our actors move around and look at the dummy and point to it and nod and so on. Now we get a few shots in which they pantomime handling the creature. Let's get some close-ups. Now we open her up. Time to cut open the body. Oldest trick in the book, we take our scalpel and attach a small tube to the side facing away from the camera. Pretty rude to call it a dummy. Pump some blood through the tube. Scalpel leaves a line of fresh blood. Aliens have blood. It's purple. Wow! Crap. Maybe I should have found this this video of them cutting open this alien. But I just found a website about how they maybe they hoaxed it. That's kind of cool. Alright, what other videos we got? Talking about Roswell. But I want to jump back because this is kind of good too. This is the UFO cover-up live.
And we looked up and there were, lights on the bottom part of it that we could see as we looked up. And
this person has experienced a close encounter of the first kind.
So we're gonna.
You had a close encounter of the first kind.
We're gonna learn about the different encounters that you can have. Close encounter of the first kind.
Seen a daylight disk or nocturnal light UFO at close range.
That's
On April
mostly
14th,
what we've
1984,
been talking about.
Hundreds of people in the small mining town of Morenci, Arizona, witnessed a huge boomerang-shaped object in the sky.
That's a encounter of the first kind.
Encounters of the second kind are visual evidence of a UFO's landing, such as impressions made by the craft.
Impressions, kind of like when I did the impression of the guy from Game of Thrones.
In August of 1979 in northern Minnesota, when Deputy Sheriff Val Johnson encountered a brilliantly lighted object, his vehicle was knocked off the road, the hood dented, 2 antennae bent, and a headlamp broken.
Crap. It's the second kind when you get in a car crash.
In a close encounter of the third kind, which Steven Spielberg made famous, the witness observes or actually confronts the occupants of the UFO.
You see them yourself, the aliens.
Close encounters of the fourth kind include people who claim to have been abducted by extraterrestrials. In almost every case, abductees also claim to have been medically examined by the ET.
Now, this is the closest encounter you could ever get when you get medically examined and they probe you in the butt. It seems like a far encounter if you see it in the sky. It's not close at all.
Actually returned home, unable to account for the missing time. Now, there is a nominal charge of $1 on your phone bill for each call to our 900 number. Phones are active only in the United States and Canada from 8 p.m. Friday, October 14th through 1 a.m. Saturday, October 15th Eastern Daylight Time. So, if you've had a close encounter of the first kind, please call 1-900-400-6181.
Remember, this is a $1 per call.
Of the second kind, call 1-900-400-6182.
Let's call one of these numbers.
If you've experienced a close encounter of the third kind, please call 1-900-400-6183. That's only if you've had a third kind encounter, though, not if you've just seen the movie.
See one of these
if
numbers.
If you had a close encounter of the fourth kind and you are back, we're anxious to hear from
you.
Please call 1-900-400-6184.
I'm back,
Finally,
baby.
If you have never had an encounter with an unidentified flying object, please call 1-900-400-6185. If you haven't had an encounter with a UFO and would like to, that's a long-distance call, and I don't have the number.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's get a pretty good joke. All right. Let's see. We got our. Let's see. 1-900. Let's do a far encounter. 400-616181. Wow. Jay Chiz subscribed at Tier 1. Thanks for subscribing to the Cool Stream. Like I said, we've got a hard out, so we got to get to some of these funny videos and some of this other stuff. We couldn't quite go extremely in deep. Let's keep the music going. We're going to call one of these numbers.
I could not complete your call. Please try again.
All right, so the close encounter number did not work. 1-900-6181. So we tried to get through to see 900 number still exists. I have no idea. I called it and it didn't work, so I guess not.
Unidentified flying object, please call 1-900-400-6185. If you haven't had an encounter with a UFO and would like to, that's a long-distance call, and I don't have the number. Tonight, some of the world's leading UFO experts are joining us here in Washington, D.C. Now, welcome the author of The Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence.
This is live, UFO Live.
Dr. Thomas McDonough.
Washington, D.C.
Dr. McDonough, welcome to the show.
To be part of this event.
In your opinion, are we alone in the universe?
Well, my own estimate is that just in our galaxy alone,
is this live or what?
Planets that might be capable of sustaining life as we know it. The size of the universe is difficult to comprehend.
I don't think this is live. Wait.
There are several hundred
go back
billion
a second.
stars.
Donna, welcome to the show.
To be part of this event.
This isn't live at all. This is all pre-recorded stuff. Let's Let's see, are the aliens or the government got to these guys and made them shut down the phone lines? That's right. Oh my God, this is pretty good.
Terrestrial intelligence, the distinguished astrophysicist, Dr. Thomas McDonough. Dr. McDonough, welcome to the show.
To be part of this event.
In your opinion, are we alone in the universe?
Well, my own estimate is that just in our galaxy alone, there could be millions of planets that might be
This is
capable of
live.
sustaining
This is
life
a
as we know
live
it.
show.
The size of the universe is difficult to comprehend. In this galaxy, there are several hundred billion stars. Each one of these dots represents a galaxy, like our Milky Way. There are billions of them. So the sheer enormity of
Billions
the
and
numbers
billions.
leads many scientists like myself to conclude that there must be life somewhere in the universe.
Now, there are many theories about the origin of life. How do you think life first began in the universe?
Well, that's where the cosmic cookbook of life comes in. It goes like this. Take one medium-sized planet and place it near an average-sized star. Don't put it too close to the fire or it will burn, not too far away or it will freeze. Add water, ammonia, methane gas, and electricity in the form of lightning to get things going. Stir and wait patiently. But you'll have to be very patient. It might take several hundred million years. But sooner or later, we think that some of those molecules will make bigger ones, and the bigger ones will make even bigger ones, and then reproduction will begin, and life is born.
Just clear his throat.
But perhaps the most important lesson we've learned about life here on Earth is that
Come on, let's wrap it up here. This is a live broadcast.
until today, from the depths of the ocean to the driest deserts, to the freezing cold at the highest mountain peaks, life forms on Earth are thriving. The reason I believe life probably exists elsewhere is the widespread availability of the ingredients in the cosmic cookbook of life.
So if extraterrestrials exist and are visiting us, then how do they get from there to here?
One possibility is that in space you could accelerate until you were very close to the speed of light. With fusion rockets using the abundant hydrogen and helium already in space, so the rocket wouldn't have to be
check
burdened
this
with
out.
carrying fuel. You could increase your energy by millions of times.
YouTube that I found has a bunch of these cool videos. Living Self-Sufficient on YouTube. They have all these 80s and 90s weird UFO documentaries.
Conventional rockets. So, within our lifetime, even with our primitive
go check it out
technology,
and watch some of
according to
these
scientists
crazy
Robert Broussard,
videos.
Robert Forward, and Stanton Friedman,
That's not a UFO.
trips
That's a damn
to nearby
space
stars
shuttle.
could very well be feasible.
I want to get to this part where it shows all the guys
here
from the
to there.
show.
Thank you, Dr. Tom McDonough.
You're welcome.
Stay with us. Bill Moore and Jamie Chandere introduce us to their government informants, codenamed Falcon and Condor.
William
To
Moore,
protect their identities, they
Jamie
were photographed in
Chandere.
shadow with their voices disguised.
Okay, good.
Stay with UFO
We'll be
Cover-Up
right
Live
back.
and find out why Project Blue Book was classified top secret when we come back after this.
UFO Live cover-up? That's pretty good.
U.S. News
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to send you a free clock stereo.
Should have called that number. Get my free clock stereo.
Once
Frick.
again, live from Washington, D.C., your host,
Oh, blew it up.
With all the UFO sightings reported
So
over
watch
the years
this
in
whole
America,
thing.
the logical question
It's
is,
hilarious.
if they really exist, why don't they visit the White House?
And maybe they have. You seen what's in the White House these days, this guy? All right.
And then there they were, all of a sudden, on July
There they
26,
were.
1952. The Air Force tried and failed to intercept up
shit.
to a dozen UFOs in the sky over the White House. The
Oh,
press conference
no.
2 days later became the largest media event since the end of World War II.
We can say
World
that
War
the
Foo.
recent
It's all the
sightings
Foo
are
Fighters.
in no way connected with any
Let's jump
secret
ahead to another
development
section
by
of the
any
cover-up show. There it is, the FBI. We're gonna get in big trouble for this. Because he shows the result of the call-in. So let's.
The calls have been coming in from all over the country claiming to have experienced close encounters with UFOs. Here are the results.
20%, no
Of the
encounter.
people that called in, 20% they said they had never had a UFO experience. Of those who
60%.
claim to have had a close encounter of the first kind, do I have a number?
Do I have a number?
66%
66.
claim to have had a UFO
69.
experience of the
Should have
close
rounded
encounter
up.
of the first
69. Be funny.
kind. Close encounter of the second kind, 5%.
5?
Make that
What?
claim.
I've already forgot which one that one was.
3% claim to have had a close encounter of the
3%.
third kind. That's
6%.
close encounters of the fourth kind, 6%.
That's interesting.
Thus far in the program, we've had how many percent of our callers calling for a congressional
We
investigation?
need an investigation.
87% saying yes, congressional investigation. No, 13%.
No.
Remember, our telephones are active until 1 a.m., October 15th, Eastern Daylight Time, throughout the United States and Canada.
Eastern
At the nominal charge of $1. All information received from your phone calls will be forwarded to a proper investigational committee, should one be set up, in Congress here in Washington, D.C.
UFO Live.
It seems every
Cover
man, woman, and child in America. And the exciting wrap-up of UFO information concerning the government.
Check it out. Send them a letter.
Please write to the address you see. Now, welcome back to the final.
All right. So that's pretty cool. UFO Live. Okay. Anything else we gotta do? We're gotta wrap up here pretty soon. I think that kind of a short show today. Let's see. Let's check out some Roswell footage here real quick. This is real footage of alien. So we'll continue some alien stuff. We have more stuff to talk about. We'll just go into another episode at some point, because we've got to talk about some abductions. And of course, there was the big Storm Area 51, that whole thing. That happened. So that happened, but it was all a big joke, so there's not much you can say there. Here's a cool Area 51 site. Skynet. UFO video. Wow! Secret. This is the Area 51 footage. It's freaky stuff. Oh, there it is, a UFO. And of course there is some interesting footage out there of care of the guy from Blink-182. He's got his whole thing set up. He's got some new info that came out recently. Ow! And we'll have to look at that. Let's check out this Area 51 website as well. It's kind of cool. Area 51. It's a secret UFO base. What's kind of crazy is that they denied the existence of Area 51. But they've come out and said that it is a real thing now. 2003. They didn't acknowledge Area 51 until 2003. But it was a base where they tested all this stuff. So that's a little bit about Area 51. It's kind of hard to explain all this stuff in one single episode, especially because we got a hard out today. We gotta head out. Let's play the wrap-up music and let's get the F out of here. Still got this thing going. All right. Well, wow, that's a UFO. Look at that thing. All right, it's been what about Area 52? All right, it was a lot of fun. Doing some UFO stuff. We'll come back some other time soon and we'll do some more UFO stuff. Maybe we'll get some credible callers to give us some information. Here's an alien video. So anyway, we got some good topics coming up on some other shows. At some point we're going to do another late night cool stream, kind of a best of show. That should be fun. We'll see what happens next week. We'll see what I'm feeling like. Got a lot of things to update, so we might do that next week. I don't know. But there's some good topics coming down the pipeline. We'll do another alien episode where we can get into some of these. I'm supposed to be wrapping up, but here this guy saw a UFO. I mean, an alien. Huh? Is that a freaking alien? Wait, let me go fast forward here, because I gotta get out of here, but we need to see this alien real quick. For real? Is it real? There he is. It's the real Stan Romanek alien video from the Museum of the Weird. There he is. Hello. Can I come in? Oh, there he goes. All right. It's a real proof of the aliens. Okay, so we got some good shows coming up. Wow. Proof. It's final proof. We'll be back next week doing something. Who the hell knows? Who knows what the future holds for the show? Why did he have the camera there? He had to knock on the window and say, "Alien, come here. Come to the window. Come to my window. Okay, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna go to a movie, and I also have to go to the bathroom. But thanks for watching the show, The Cool Stream. It's been a lot of fun. We'll be back next week with another crazy cool topic. Something insane. If there's something you want to see, you got any requests, hit me up. Leave me a message on the Cool Stream hotline, all that kind of stuff. Thanks for watching the show. And we'll be back next week for another episode of The Cool Stream. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to enjoy my heart out. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week on The Cool Stream.
Beowulf. Beowulf. Beowulf.
Beowulf. Beowulf.
Cedar nut toothpaste.
I call myself a philobibliac. Woo!
Dunk your head in the hell toilet. Beowulf.
That appeared to fly along with our aircraft.
We were concerned that these so-called Foo Fighters or fireballs might be foreign weapons that could threaten our national security.